I forgot to film an introduction to this video when we got the items, but I'll give you some context to the dolls that I'm going to be making over in this video. So the last October weekend in 2024, we went to the local flea market. It was cold and it was gloomy and we really didn't think we were going to find anything. But on the last two aisles we struck gold. So we found 4 box dolls, all African American Barbies, for $5 each, which was a score. Really exciting. And then literally in the next aisle we came across this seller that we usually talk to, but I don't think we've really bought much from her over the years because she's kind of expensive. But she had told us a month before that she was clearing out a storage unit and she had dolls in the storage unit she was like getting rid of, and she asked if we'd be interested in them, and we just hadn't crossed paths with her until that weekend, and she hadn't been keeping them in her trunk for us every week. And they were in this like really big green tub, and they were all in like different metal trunks and vinyl cases. There's a clip I filmed of like what they were in, all piled up, and there was a little cardboard tray, and there was a boxed doll. She had been taken out of the box but stuck back in. And the reason why we were interested was because we could see that there were a lot of 70s items, and if you collect things from the 70s, then you know it's like when you get dolls that are really old, like at least for me, from like the 60s or 70s or early 80s, dolls that are 40, 50, 60 years old, like I can really appreciate when they have nice looking face paint, and I can see the potential even if they're dirty. And as we were looking through the like various cases and stuff, and I saw how nice their face paint was, I just knew that like they were worth buying. And there were also some like Dawn dolls and Dawn clothes, and I don't see those too often. So she originally wanted $100, which was way too much money, and then she said we could have it for $80, which is still like way too much money, honestly. But she brought the stuff in specially for us, and we thought it would probably be the last thing we got flea market season, which there will be a video after this of like what we found the next weekend. We had really good luck the last few weeks of flea market season this year. But yeah, so we paid her the $80, and was it too much money? Yeah, I mean, maybe if you itemized everything and sold it on eBay, I'm sure you could make the money back, but we just collect because we love things. But they were fun to clean. They were really grubby. I had no idea how long they were in that storage unit. It sounded like a while. She said some of them were her childhood dolls. They were lucky to have been in a decent storage unit. There wasn't mold, there wasn't mildew, there wasn't like any rodent or insect activity, so that was good. And we got a bunch of outfits for dolls we already had, which is exciting. So that's the context of this lot. We called it the Storage Sweeties for that reason, because they came from a storage unit. And I hope you enjoy. Here's an overview of all of the clothes and accessories that we got in this bin. Obviously not what's on the dolls. I laid it out for a photo, so it's kind of a medley. Like there's some Jewel Secrets Barbie pieces, which is great because I have 2 Jewel Secrets Barbies who need clothes. There's some 90s fashion packs. That's one of the Quick Curl Barbie dresses. I happen to have another. That's a Francie dress. Some of them are like clone items, but pretty well made. Dream Glow dress, which is great because I have a Dream Glow Barbie. Some Tycho Ariel pieces, this very old Barbie dress, 2 Funtime Barbie outfits, which I have 2 Funtime Barbies that need some things, some more fashion packs, this 80s one that I already have that's awesome, this nightgown that I feel like I've seen before, but I don't remember off the top of my head what it is. It's really pretty. I want to say it's a homemade knit wedding dress. It's gorgeous. Just some more 80s fashion packs, and then there are a few Dawn items, like the striped one over here, these 2 orange shirts, the orange bikini, that orange striped dress, and these boot things that don't really look like boots. And then there's some like Dawn knockoffs. This is Tricky Mickey's outfit. Some Mycene pieces. Yeah, it's a pretty odd medley. And then we have Ken's head, which we have plans for. We got one of the Dawn mannequins. I've never had one of those before. There was this little pieces to different China tea sets, which those are good for photos. Some old Barbie and Skipper shoes, some Dawn shoes, Jewel Secrets Barbie shoes, and some very useful hangers. If you're wondering where I've acquired my doll hangers that I hang clothes on to dry, It's just from like years of getting lots at the flea market. Anytime you get clothes, there's almost always like hangers if they're older outfits from like the 90s and earlier. They don't really do hangers as much these days. And also we used to buy a lot of dollar store fashions, and those always came with hangers. So it's a pretty cool medley. So this is an overview of all the dollies that we are dealing with in this video. We have the 5 boxed ones. So the 4 African American dolls were purchased from a different seller for $5 each. So we have this Nutcracker Barbie, we have Prince Eric, we have Happy Birthday Barbie from 1995, we have the KB Toys Sleeping Beauty, which this is one of my favorite dolls of all time. And then this Winter Velvet Barbie came with the others. She's been pulled out of the box, but she was stuck back in. We have one of these generic Kens. He can be like Island Fun or Beach Blast. He's wearing some Beach Blast Steven shorts. We have Beach Blast Teresa. She's awesome. Sensational Malibu PJ. 2 Quick Curl Barbies with both their outfits actually, and this Beauty Secrets Barbie outfit's really nice. 2 Japan Malibu Barbies. So these would only be the 1970 Malibu Barbies, not any of the like repackaged dolls, because the Japan-made ones are only from the Malibu line. And this outfit is Bride Tracy's, which I need. A beautiful Great Shape Barbie who's wearing Pieces to Feel and Fun Barbie, which I also need. A Redhead 1997 Sweetheart Barbie. I might have her outfit, I don't know. We have First Edition Dylan. We have Pose and Play Skipper, who's wearing 2 pieces to Grown Up Skipper, which Colin has that doll. This red leotard is Barbie. And then we have Dawn's friend Gary. We have a fake Dawn doll. Rock Flowers Heather by Mattel. This is the original Dawn. Her hair's been cut. I'm not sure if I'm going to use her for a body donor or not. And then we have Tricky Mickey. She also has like her leg is almost completely off, so we'll see. And then this is a Hawaiian Fun Barbie with completely butchered hair, and these bodies are really special. And then there were some ribbons that I'm gonna save, and these are like not doll brand hangers, but we can hang doll clothes on them. And then it all came in this big container with lots of like different cases, so it looked like there was a lot more than there was. Yeah, so it was all in here. We did already go through and like get rid of, there was some just like trash or non-doll things that we didn't need, but this is all the stuff that we're keeping. So here I'm laminating the cardboard accessories that came with Happy Birthday Barbie. I actually think she came with an extra sheet. She had 2 identical sheets of accessories, and I really don't know why she would have come with 2. Like, why would she need 2 birthday cakes? So I just buy lamination paper that's peel and stick from Walmart, and I do this with all my cardboard accessories. I was like not thinking clearly when I did this though, and I stuck the entire sheet down instead of punching things out. Not the way to do it. Like, you should punch things out first, because then A, you're wasting less laminating paper, and B, it's easier just to cut through the plastic instead of cutting around the cardboard too. And you'll see there's a few other like loose accessories next to this one. Those were loose pieces I found in the lot that I wanted to laminate too. So there were some Barbie and the Sensations cardboard accessories, and some perfume-giving Ken accessories. Oddly enough, neither of those dolls were in this lot, but this was clearly a hodgepodge. I think some of the dolls she had probably sold at some point from her storage unit like years ago, because I remember back in the day she had Bratz dolls that were way too expensive for me to buy, and I think Dylan's like one of the leftovers because I feel like I vaguely remember seeing him. So I soaked the plastic accessories in dish soap and baking soda. The baking soda because they were really old and had been in storage for a long time. Most of the time I'll just use dish soap. I usually start with soaking the plastic accessories and the laundry because that way it can soak while I'm cleaning the dolls, and then once I'm done the dolls I can rinse all of it and hang it to dry, and then it kind of all dries around the same time. So I did sort the clothes. I did the red separately because reds from the 60s and 70s are kind of notorious for bleeding. I did have color catchers in there though. They work really well and you can reuse them. I have some that have lasted for years, and sometimes if you soak them in OxiClean, they will turn white again. And I put homemade detergent in here and also some OxiClean because they were old and needed to be brightened. And of course the dolls had to soak too in dish soap and baking soda and warm water. Unfortunately, the drain stopper wasn't the right one, and it leaked out slowly, so I did have to switch it out for the proper one so they could actually soak for a while. Supplies: conditioner, diluted gel, fine tooth comb, wide tooth comb, dish soap, baking soda, and a toothbrush to do the scrubbing. So this is what I mean about the sink draining out. I had to refill it not long after. I was going to let them soak while I worked on some of the easier dolls, and it drained pretty quickly. So I sped up a lot of this footage, and I didn't film me washing every doll. It took me a long time to clean these guys because they had been in storage a while, and some of them were like 50 years old, and it's to be expected that they needed a lot of extra TLC, especially when they have like rubbery legs. It takes a lot more force to scrub them. Here I was using a little square of a magic eraser just to get some of the grub off, but I always wash with baking soda and dish soap too because I just feel like that actually cleans. Magic erasers don't always have like a cleaner in them, depending on the brand you buy. I buy like the Walmart version, and therefore you're just like wiping it off, and like I'm not a fan of just wiping dirt off. I feel like it actually needs to be clean for them to smell nice, and these dolls didn't smell good. Like, they smelled old and like a storage unit. And I mean, they definitely could have smelled worse. They were lucky that they weren't moldy or musty or chewed, because you never know, like with a storage unit, how great the place is. Like, I've never had a storage unit, but you know, I've seen what happens to things that are kept in storage for years, and she had said they had been in storage for years. So I really took my time. Like, this footage is sped up 4 times, but if I had to spend 10 minutes on a doll, I did. I mean, I'm pretty fast when it comes to scrubbing, so it maybe would have taken someone else even longer, but I had to check everything. And you can see, like, I'm looking doll over, going over spots again, and usually with older dolls like this, I'll scrub their bodies and faces more than once, just to be sure. And then I turned off my camera at some point, and then I started filming again once some dolls were out of sync because I didn't want to totally kill my battery filming redundant footage of me scrubbing, because it's literally just like this. And also, the more involved I get, the wetter and more messy the area gets. My hands get wrinkled, I get baking soda everywhere, and touching the camera is really not my favorite thing because I have to like make sure my hands are rinsed thoroughly before I hit the power button and change a battery because I don't want anything getting in my camera. But yeah, so it was just a lot of me scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, and I'll admit, like, it was kind of a workout. I mean, I'm used to cleaning a lot of dolls. I have literally sat and cleaned like 100 dolls in a row because I'm a bit overambitious like that, but this lot was a lot of hard work because these were pretty dirty old dolls, and even areas like the arms that usually aren't too dirty needed to be scrubbed again and again and again. And I am washing their hair twice with dish soap. You can kind of see me doing it occasionally, but then after I'll rinse them, I'll like check and make sure that I didn't miss any spots. And you can see I keep checking and going back over areas. This beloved Malibu Barbie, who had really nice face paint and amazing hair, had pink stuff smeared all over her torso. Even after letting it soak, even after many scrubs, it just wouldn't budge. So I took the magic eraser, and this seemed to get it off. It felt kind of like an oily substance. I think it was very old makeup. It wasn't nail polish. It wasn't thick enough to be nail polish. But the magic eraser did pull off some of her skin tone, because dolls from the late 60s and early 70s, their skin color was added after, so it's not all the way through. So if you use like stain removal treatment, or basically lightly sand off the top layer, which is what a magic eraser does, it will pull up some pigment. And it was only like really between her boobs because of how hard I had to scrub and how in there the stuff was. And this was the detangling process, where I add conditioner and usually start with a wide tooth comb, brush out the snarls, and then move to a fine tooth comb. But these dolls, especially from this era, they don't have very long hair, and they don't have much hair, so you don't even need the wide tooth comb most of the time. Like, you can see I'm just plowing through the dolls with the fine tooth comb. It didn't take me long, and then instead of rinsing them one by one, I just kind of piled them up in the sink and then rinsed them together while the water for the boil wash was heating up in the kettle. I try to do things in like an assembly line, especially when I'm washing them by myself, because it just makes it go faster rather than like washing and detangling one doll at a time. This is just easier and how I've been efficient. And you can see here I'm rinsing them one by one with some warm water to really break up the conditioner. Sometimes if you rinse with cool water, it doesn't get the conditioner out thoroughly. This is sped up 8 times, by the way. That's why it's moving so quick. And here I am doing the boil washes. So heating the water in the kettle works better than the microwave, I've found, because I don't have to keep like reheating. I can use one kettle and it fills up all of these bowls, and I can use the bigger bowls that don't heat up well in the microwave. So you can see I have the dolls that have like saran or nylon, the more stubborn types of hair, sitting in the bowls, and I'm not really doing much with them. And the small bowl in the front here, this is what I use for the Kanekalon haired dolls. Because this hair type, it goes straight really fast, and if you put it in like immediately into the boiling water, the hair will ball up and you'll think you've burned it. You haven't melted it. If you melt doll hair, it will feel crunchy. It will get like, each fiber will be really, really squiggly and hard. Believe me, I accidentally melted doll hair when I was a kid, and I would blow dry their hair after washing it. And once you do melt it, there's no coming back. I've never melted dolls' hair in the boil wash. Even one time with a makeover faucet, you would think it melted because it shrank so much, and I had to reroute her. But in fact, it was just that it shriveled up so much, it shriveled inside the head, but I was able to comb it back straight, what was still sticking out of her head. You wouldn't be able to do that if it melted. So anyways, I'll let that water for the Kanekalon hair dolls sit for like a few seconds before dunking them. And with that birthday Barbie who I started with, I dunked her in really fast, and usually I'll have to heat up a little bit more water if I have a lot of Kanekalon hair dolls, because they do need a decent amount of heat, especially if their hair is pretty nappy, if you want the best results. I've found the more I've done this and the more I've figured out the best temperature to use, the better the results have been. It can take years to master this technique. Like, even when I started this channel in 2016, I had been doing boil washes for 5 years, and just in like a few months since I started my YouTube channel back then, I had noticed an improvement in my skill level. So the more you do something, the better you get. And we all make mistakes sometimes. Like, I had no idea that makeover faucet in a video a while back would have hair that shrank that much. But you live and you learn. The quick curl dolls are pretty stubborn because they have wires in their hair, so they're not going to have super sleek results like the other dolls. I know it's hard to see what I'm doing because my tripod was tipped a little bit out of the way, but I'm using that color bottle at the beginning that has diluted gel in it, and I'm drizzling it all over their hair, top and bottom. I'm being very generous. This is pretty diluted stuff. It's 2 teaspoons of stronghold gel, like extra strong, strongest strength you can get in the cheapest brand you can get, mixed in with 8 ounces of warm water, and I shake it up. Any more than this, it gets too sticky, and any less than this, it doesn't do anything. This adds shine, and one of the most satisfying things I never remember to film is when their hair dries and you first go to comb through. It's like so satisfying seeing it like break up and be super shiny. But I'll have to remember to film that sometime. I always mean to. After a bunch of scrubbing, I assessed that one of the Quick Curl Barbies had stains, not dirt. It looks like kind of mildewy stains. And it wasn't a very great day for this. It was decently warm, but in the fall where I live, we don't get much sunlight, and sunlight and heat do help the peroxide treatment lift stains. This is a peroxide hair developer, but you could use like acne product with peroxide, anything with peroxide, that's what lifts the stains. But it actually did work. She was out for an afternoon and the stains were gone. And the whole time I was cleaning those dolls, I think it took me like 2 hours. My hands were so wrinkled, like I was done at this point. Like I was cold and my hands were like losing feeling because they were so wrinkled. But I was ambitious and I wanted to get all of it washed and dried because I just don't have as much time these days during the week to space out my doll projects. So if I have a day, I kind of have to try to get as much done as possible. So here I'm rinsing all the clothes in warmish water just so my hands didn't get freezing, wringing them out really good, and then I'll hang them to dry in front of a fan. That's what I did here. That's what I always do. So I washed the dolls. The boys were drying on the bed while I scrubbed the girls and did their hair, because that way they could sit in front of the fan and dry. So they have been moved into here since I finished with the girls. And then in Colleen's room we have a little fan on top of the hamper drying some of the clothes. I have to check them. And then on the bed we have the dolls except Quick Curl Barbie. One of them, she's out with some stain removal cream. And then in the kitchen I have all the plastic stuff drying. I did scrub Ken's head with baking soda and dish soap really good, and he's just over here because his head is tiny. But when I get him the body donor, he will be reassembled.
Quasimodo, tell them how helpful you've been. Yeah, you cleaned so many dolls. You cleaned so many dolls. Look at that belly. That's a nice belly. That's a nice belly. Hey, honey. Have you been helping? Have you been helping? Have you been helping? You silly boys. You're being silly. Huh? You want to play and you want dinner.
So most of the dolls are up here. They are gonna need to get dressed and have their hair styled and all that tomorrow, but I moved them here. And then the remaining dolls are still sitting on the bed, and I'm like constantly rotating what's drying. So as soon as I notice something's dry, whether it's dolls or clothes, I move them out of the area so that the fan air can better circulate. So these guys should dry by the time I get back from picking clothes up work. All of the dry clothes are in here. Those are the ones that need to be washed again because they're still stained. A lot of these need mending. And then again, I cleared everything off that was dry and I kept doing it, and now there's just a few things left. Some of them might need to be re-washed tomorrow, like that wedding dress has some stains, but that's how I managed to do a big lot like this, because if I just left all of this stuff hanging, it would take forever for certain pieces to dry. So, and that way I can also reposition the fans. So before I can start dressing the dolls, a lot of the clothes need to be photographed. So I'm starting that process. There's going to be things that need to be mended and all that and soaked again, but as long as they look fine for the picture, I'm going to do that now so I don't have to remember to do it later. Making labels, because I save pictures of the fashions to my Google Drive in my computer, so I have boxed images of them for reference because obviously I'm not going to post other people's pictures on my Flickr, but a lot of my fashions are incomplete and it's nice to have like the boxed photos, so if I get more pieces later, which is the case with a few fashion gift sets I already have, I need to get the other pieces from downstairs. This book is really great because, like with Bride Tracy, it itemizes what came with her, and then I can write what I'm missing for Flickr, and I've been like highlighting stuff as I go along. So it's tedious, and then it all has to get like edited and uploaded and all that, but it's a guide. I mean, that's the kind of work that goes into it. And then as I go, I'll start trying to dress the people over here that have outfits that are already up here, and then I'll have to go and dig people up later on, but I'm not going to have time before lunch and work. And then I also bought these two things at Walmart, so she needs to be restrung, and I've had a gander inside, and it looks like I'll be able to restring her. So this was the tiniest elastic I could find. And then I don't think I'm going to have any clothes for Gary. I don't have any other small guy dolls, so I might make him something out of this large anchor print, maybe like some shorts. I'm not the best at sewing, we'll see. Alright, it is a sad day, this Ken. His face paint and hair and all that is really flaked off, and he's the same doll as this Worky Lovely head. So we're gonna say goodbye to Ken. I should be able just to get his head off. So I was able to pull it right off. There was a little plastic piece in there that broke off that I had to fish out, which you don't need. I don't really know why it's in there. And you can see I was having trouble getting the new guy's head on there. This happens sometimes with Kens. My dad made Colleen's favorite Ken doll when we were kids. His name is Chandler. You've seen him in videos. He made him jump off of a shelf one day and his head broke. And Dad threw out his body thinking that it was broken because it wouldn't go back in all the way. All you have to do is soak it in hot water and bloop, it goes right in the body. I'm going to take a little break for now. The room is kind of in complete chaos. So I'll explain. Colleen's washing this Quick Curl Barbie's outfit. It's my old outfit that Hispanic Barbie was wearing for like the past 8 years. She's from Kensuke Spin. So it's kind of funny because I'm taking the earrings she was wearing. I don't know where they went. Oh, these were the ones I made to go with that Quick Curl outfit, but these dolls don't have ear holes, so I'm going to take these apart because they don't match her. This is my Dream Glow Barbie that got an outfit. I got her last year. She was a gift. So these though, these came off of that Dream Glow because she was wearing this purple outfit, and I thought that they went really well with this, so yeah, it just happened that I did some clothing trade-offs because it just so happened that the outfits I was taking off dolls matched some of the new ones. But these are dolls that are dressed and ready to be photographed. Some of them are waiting for twins. Some of these are old dolls that got outfits, like Wedding Tracy. I'll give you an up-close view of like who got outfits. And then we did some re-inventorying of Ken. So this exact very basic Ken doll was available. He was repackaged in different outfits. So he appeared first as Island Fun. We got this guy with his shorts, so we know he's Island Fun. Then he was packaged as Beach Blast and Wet and Wild, and when we originally got some of the dolls, I don't think we realized that they were all the same, so we by default called two of them Island Fun because he was the oldest, but we actually had two Beach Blast outfits in storage, which we're putting on our new guys. So he was new, and then this is the guy whose head I swapped off. So this is Ken's suitcase guy's body. I have to fix this though. He gets kind of a grubby one, and I thought it would be nice to keep them together because I did have a spare Wet n Wild pair of shorts, but they were really faded and I didn't have that green tank top. And then this guy, he's one of our old dolls. I don't remember off the top of my head when we got him. He was wearing a trench coat outfit, and we were calling him Island Fun before, but he got an outfit. So yeah, that way they'll all be in proper attire. We'll never know what they originally sold as unless, like in the case of him, he was wearing his outfit. So that's what that's all about. Then I have to check her. I keep a list of dolls that need body donors. I have it on a Google Drive. It's like what body they're on presently and then what body they need. And I just got this Malaysia body from a Hawaiian Fun Barbie whose hair was like cut to the scalp in this lot, and we couldn't figure out for sure which tropical Barbie needed it. I think it's this girl because I vaguely remember her like getting a different body somehow, but we'll see. I'll pop her head off and look at the inside rim and it should say the country. So that's why she's out, to see if that body will match. I try to keep them on the right country makes and stuff. More dolls that got outfits. These 3 came from my 70s and 60s container. They need baths. Because we had like another flood in the basement this year from the laundry pipe, like the pipe that comes out of the laundry machine. It flooded out, and there was also like a septic issue, so it was like really moist and humid. So unfortunately with these really older dolls, they tend to be really prone to getting like little mildew spots, and most of it can be wiped off and it's fine. But every time we have like some sort of flood in the basement, last summer it was a hot water heater, in 2018 it was the hot water heater, and then like if there's like just tons and tons and tons of rain, and sometimes it comes in through the chimney. But like, yeah, so they came from there. They need baths. They're old. Those Dylan dolls are old. We got a new first edition Dylan. Colleen brought them downstairs to find an outfit. So they're over here. I have 2 more that are over there in fashion packs, but
I have a whole group of people who are coming downstairs to look for clothes.
Yes.
Ooh,
so,
Malibu.
There's the 2 Japan Malibus. There's the Rock Flowers doll. There's Cindy Joy. There's the Dawn doll whose leg is hanging on by a thread. And then, let's see, Gary, I'm going to see if I can make him something. These are clothes that just need to be repaired and then put away. Tricky Mickey, she's apart. I was trying to see how she went together, and her legs get strung up through her neck. And, yeah, so when I was, like, pulling off her head, the hook is in there, that's what happened. So we're going to have to see, what we can do about that. Then these 2 need earrings. Yeah, oh, and then those are old dolls that are duplicates. Some of them came from there. I just brought up my whole 60s and 70s container because it's not big, and I already knew that they would be a tad mildewy because that was like a month ago that happened. So, yeah, we're gonna have to go through all the containers and check things. And then these are clothes that need to get put away, or, they're going on dolls. And then kid over there just got pajamas that happened to come in the mail yesterday. I got them for a pretty good deal. They were like not even $25 all said and done, and that's what they retailed for. And I've been wanting them for a long time. So she's over here because when I have my backdrop set up with my lamp, it's easier just to take all the photos at once. And then I had to bring up the 90s fashion pack container because we got pieces to fashion gift sets in this lot. And in the 90s fashion gift sets, they repackaged a bunch of pieces in multiple sets. It's all very confusing. So I had to bring that up because I needed multiple bags to piece together the 2 fashion packs I got pieces to. Yeah, so it's chaos. Ring light, tripod, poster boards, and these Ken dolls that I was sorting out, and my lists and stuff, my camera, battery. But yeah, this is usually what it looks like. I wanted to get further today, and even with Colleen's help, like, we still have things to do. And I'm probably not going to get around to taking pictures until later after dinner. But at least they're all clean. Nobody needs to be additionally cleaned except those old dolls. We also had an incident where Quasimodo went downstairs and knocked over an entire shoe organizer of doll shoes, and we ended up spending a good chunk of time this afternoon making sure all the shoes were paired together. And now there is a missing Elsa shoe. I moved a bureau downstairs. I looked like I was a CSI investigator all over the basement, so I don't know where it went. That's really unfortunate. But this is what we're working with right now. It usually looks like chaotic. It's organized chaos, but it usually looks pretty chaotic when we're in the middle of one of these transformations. So poor Dawn. her leg was like almost completely off. It was torn when I got her, and then just through the cleaning process it ripped off all the way. So I'm using this E6000 glue. It's supposed to, or is it the Gorilla Glue? I forget what kind it is. It's supposed to dry flexibly, which is better for rubber legs. And then I'm using some washi tape from the Dollar Tree just to hold her leg in place so it could dry overnight and stay in place. I usually do this, and it peels up just fine. The glue doesn't like cause any issues. So if you need to have something to be held in place while it glues, use washi tape. It works. And if Dawn's lot in life wasn't bad enough, she had that chopped hair. It was super uneven, super uneven. It was like really long on one side and then cut up to her chin on the other side. So I used a little rubber band to kind of push it all down so I could really assess the damage. And then I used my professional shears, which are now just for dolls, because I bought a new pair for myself. These are from cosmetology school. You can see I'm like point cutting and evening it out, and then I didn't show it on camera, but I wrapped her head in saran wrap, dunked her in boiling water, and rinsed her under cold water, and then let it sit overnight so the plastic wrap would hold the shape. And I had 2 pairs of earrings to make for Dream Glow Barbie and for Sweetheart Barbie. So I pre-planned out what I was going to do and made 1 earring for each on camera. That's what I usually end up doing. There's no raw footage noises from this clip because Colleen was listening to music very loudly in the next room. So I couldn't keep any of that original audio, but it's just the sounds of me snipping wires and sliding beads on. It's not that exciting. And yeah, so that's what I was doing. I love making jewelry. I was kind of bummed that more dolls didn't need earrings, but at least I got to make 2 pairs. That was fun. And I did spend a lot of time thinking about what would match these outfits. Probably too much time. And this is Tricky Mickey and how I restrung her. By the way, like, this footage of like the earrings and gluing Dawn and fixing Dawn's hair and this restringing part, this was all done at night, like at 9 o'clock at night, because I had the flea market the next day and I wanted to try to get these dolls as finished as possible before I potentially got more. And I did get more dolls the next day. Fall is a really great time to flea market. Anyways, so Tricky Mickey, she's strung. I had never ever strung a doll this tiny before, and the only doll that I restrung in the past besides American Girls was a 1950s, 1960s nun doll that Colleen's friend from work asked me to restring, and she had little like removable hooks and one of them was missing and I had to make one. This was back in 2021 when I was on my YouTube break. So what I did is I bought the tiniest elastic I could at Walmart. I studied how she went together. It was actually very simple. You can see I have these, they're locking pliers. I got them in the fishing section at Walmart. I bought them to do that nun doll. I actually have 2 of them because I needed 2 to do her. And I use them once in a while. I just needed to hold the elastic that went through her body that held her legs in place. It goes up to her neck. I needed to hold that in place for a minute. It originally had like a little metal clamp right there. That was what was in her head, but you can't use it once it's been clamped down. So I just tied a knot and that worked just fine. And then here I was doing the arms, which are strung independently. The elastic for those was like really dry rotted, but still somehow holding them in place. So the hardest part was just looping the elastic back through to the other side so I could knot it. It's really not that difficult. Getting the tension right was a little tricky, but I got this in my first attempt. Her legs aren't perfect, but you know what? I was really surprised that it wasn't as intimidating as I thought it was going to be. It's fun to do new stuff. And this lady's not a new doll. She is a My First Barbie I had a long time, also from Kensuke Spin. I got a leotard for her in this lot, but I did not get one of the matching skirts. So I decided to make a lace one using a piece of lace, some fabric flowers, and some snaps as closures. My cat is about to jump. No, Quasimodo. He's about to jump on my desk while I'm filming this. And I don't really want him jumping on there because there's dolls. Anyways, so it was pretty simple. And it looked really cute, and in the event I get her factory skirt, hey, I can use this tutu for something else. So these are all my old dolls who got things from this lot. reunited with original outfits or pieces of them. So we have one of my California midges. I had her swimsuit, but she did not have her skirt, so that's very exciting. I've had her a long time, since 2013, I think. Then we have my, well, she was my newest Dream Glow. Ironically, this was supposed to be the last outfit I needed, but while filming this video, we got another haul of dolls, a case of 80s dolls, and there was a Dream Glow Barbie in there who doesn't have her outfit. This one is really special because it was actually a gift. She was from the Mountains of Monsters lot from 2023. She has cut hair, but it's like a nice cut, and she was really interesting. Her head was off in the lot, and when I went to have a look at it, her neck joint inside, it actually snapped in half, and it was crumbling on the inside. I've never seen that before, where it like was so old that just crumbled out. So I had to like cut the seam of her neck and put a replacement joint in, because if the joint doesn't like come out on its own, then the body is really solid. So that's why I had to do that. And she also got a new pair of earrings because the outfit she was wearing no longer matched those earrings, the big purple hoops I made. We have Bride Tracy. I've had her forever. She was my first one. My other one's from Ken's Suitcase lot, but she's not as pretty. I mean, this lady's face is printed really weird, but she's still very pretty. And I'm so excited to have this. Her veil's stretched out, so she's not wearing it. We have my first Barbie from '86. I got her leotard in this lot. My African American doll like this was boxed when I got her. She was a Christmas gift many years ago, and that's the only outfit I have. But I made a little tutu to go with this one. We have the lovely Jewel Secrets Barbie, who was also a gift. She was from the Wonder Swelly Wishers lot, though. I had Jewel Secrets Barbie, a blonde one, who also needed her outfit, who was my first Jewel Secrets Barbie ever, but this lady, I mean, come on, she had to get the outfit. She's gorgeous. And my boxed blonde has her outfit, or formerly boxed blonde. I don't keep dolls boxed, in case you haven't picked up on that yet. And then it was so funny that I got 2 Fun Time Barbie outfits. So now I have all 3 color variations, because my purple one, I got that doll boxed in like 2012. And this one in the pink, I just picked her in the pink because I thought it went well with her variation of facial screening. She was my first one. I bought her from the local flea market in 2014 or 2013. From the seller I got my very first Disney dolls from as an adult collector. And she's really, really pretty. She's the prettiest Fun Time Barbie I've ever seen. And then this lady, I haven't had her that long. I got her last summer in 2023 at the Salvation Army. She was wearing a dress I wanted for an Aurora doll, and her head was like squinched down on her body, so she had like a fat head. So I adopted her because I wanted the outfit and she needed some help. And she's actually a really nice doll. She's got the nicest hair. And we have Steven. He is from the Ken Suitcase lot of 2016. This same Steven doll was packaged a few different ways, and since we got Beach Blast shorts, we just decided we'd call him Beach Blast, so, because now we have an outfit for him. And growing up Skipper, she's wearing a Jewel Secret Skipper leotard for now, because we didn't get the shirt, like the leotard that goes to this, but we did get both of her skirts, so that's really exciting. Colleen got her at a thrift store at the end of 2018, and she didn't even recognize her, and I was like, it's Growing Up Skipper. So I'm happy that some old friends got outfits. And we have the box dolls before. They're actually like dirty inside their boxes. His face is like covered in stuff. You can see that their packages are not in good condition. It's them before. And we have the box dolls after. They're out of the boxes. They did get baths. I'll just wash them with some soap, and I'll do their hair, like wash the hair, condition it, oil wash it, and all that. I straightened Birthday Barbie's Connectlon hair. Sleeping Beauty was already super nice, but her hair is even nicer now that it's been boil washed. Nutcracker Barbie. Let's see how pretty her saran hair is once it's been boil washed. It doesn't look all nappy. And then Eric was the only really dirty one. All of that schmutz that was on his face is gone. I didn't have to wash any of their outfits, even though their boxes were kind of crushed. Sometimes I have to do that, even if they're technically still sealed. And also another interesting note, the Caucasian fella, that's also Prince Eric, he has rooted hair. This guy has molded hair. We have Beach Blast Ken before. It's pretty grubby. We have Beach Blast Ken after, so he was the one that was just the head, and this was the guy that was whole wearing the Steven shorts. They look a lot cleaner. I mean, his head actually wasn't that bad, and this body I got from that poor Ken doll from Ken's Suitcase lot who barely had any hair and face paint left, so, you know, it was sad, but he had such a nice head, and I had 2 of these outfits, so we decided just to call them Beach Blast Ken because they're pretty generic, and that way they can stay together in the photo when we write about them, but much cleaner, much fresher. Winter Velvet Barbie before. A little bit disheveled with some stuff in her hair. Winter Velvet Barbie after, not much of a difference because she was already pretty nice, but of course she got the spa treatment too. I put her hair in some twists just so I could easily tell her apart from my other 2. The 2 Malibu Barbies before. Their face paint's in nice condition and their hair is in nice condition, but you can definitely see that they are quite grubby and gross, and she has pink stuff all over. Malibu Barbie times 2 after. So the lady over here is the one that had the pink. You can see her her body looks a little bit white right there. So dolls from the late 60s and early 70s, their skin color was like added after. It wasn't cast all the way through. So when you do stain removal on a doll like this Ken from the 80s, it's not going to leave like white spots or anything because the tan is all the way through, but on dolls from this era it was added after, so it's not pigmented all the way through the layers, and you can see they get like natural splotching just from aging. So I did have to use a magic eraser to get that pink off because it just wasn't coming off with my fingernails, and stain removal would have discolored it too. So it's not like horrible, it's showing up more on camera than it did in person, but it looks better than the pink did. They're both super cute. She has super nice hair. They look a lot cleaner. I mean, they were pretty gnarly and stinky before. The 2 Quick Curl Barbies before. This one has like a lot of pink smudged on her cheeks, and they have that gross cheap hair type with the wires in it. We have Quick Curl Barbie after times 2. So this outfit in the less nice condition was in this lot, and then this one I already had. It was on Hispanic Barbie. So I'm pretty sure this was the doll that had all the like pink on her cheeks. She does have more pink blush to begin with, and yeah, they cleaned up really nicely. I think it was this one who had like some slight like mold looking stains. I was skeptical as to whether or not they were going to come out because there wasn't much sunlight, but they actually did. They weren't that bad. Usually, if you're removing stains on dolls, mold stains lift really fast, and Sharpie lifts really fast, believe it or not. But pen marks and other kinds of dyes take a lot longer, so, and inks. But they cleaned up really great. They do have that kind of gross like hair with the wires. That's why it doesn't look like super smooth, because it is literally wiry. But all things considered, I think that they look pretty fantastic and fresh. The amazing Great Shape Barbie, who is everything a Great Shape Barbie aspires to be. She does have some gross dirt on her, and her original hair elastics have completely dry rotted in her hair. Poor lady. Great Shape Barbie. I had one of these in storage of her. Actually, I have one more, so clothing hoarder much. She is absolutely stunning. She doesn't even look that different because she was already such a wonderful doll, just cleaner, and she smells better, which is important. The amazing Beach Blast Teresa before. Also, looking pretty grubby. Beach Blast Teresa after. Didn't have her swimsuit, but she does have this Wet n Wild one she can borrow. I boil washed her hair straight because it was connect on, and I don't put the curls back in just for hygiene purposes. It's easier to maintain them, comb them through when they're not all puffy again. She is so pretty. I love Teresa dolls from this era. 1997 Sweetheart Barbie. These are dye stains on her torso, and it's not the time of year for me to put her out because we don't have much sun right now, but you might see that in the after. And we have Sweetheart Barbie from 97. She wasn't that bad. She was kind of an outlier in this haul. I put a little twist in her hair and I made her these earrings. These are pretty mellow for me because she has this big necklace. So I didn't want to do anything that would like compete too much with the jewelry, but I also wanted to keep in mind what would match if I get her original dress in the future because it's a pretty common outfit. So Sensational Malibu PJ. She's got some peeling on her legs. She's actually like not that dirty and she's very pretty. Sensational Malibu PJ after. I had this fashion on a Dream Glow Barbie that got an outfit in this lot, so while I had it up I thought it would go great with her purple eyes because that doll didn't need it anymore. She has super nice hair. Really beautiful. You'd never know that she was as old as she is. And I do technically have Sensational Malibu PJ already, but my other doll is like way homelier looking. This lady's face looks very different. They're definitely the same doll, but like it's just interesting the variations you can get. And Sun Lovin' Malibu PJ has this same face, but she has the painted tan lines, which this doll does not have. First edition Dylan. Yeah, his flocking is in really nice condition, but he's dirty and he doesn't have feet. First edition Dylan after. He has like really nice flocking. He's such a gem. He had all those like gross black marks on his face before. And I do have plenty of first edition Dylan clothes for him, but I got this fashion pack off eBay for super cheap back in 2021, and nobody was wearing it, so why not? The adorable Pose and Play Skipper. She's got some grub. Could be worse. Her face paint and hair are in really nice condition. Pose and Play Skipper after. She was one of the dolls that Colleen and I really wanted from this lot. We could tell she was going to clean up looking like new. And Colleen happened to have this outfit. We didn't know which doll she was upon first sight, but as it turned out, we have her outfit. Colleen just had to readdress a twist and turn skipper that was wearing this. Her hair is so glossy and she is so adorable, and she looks way cleaner. Knockoff Dawn before. She's pretty grubby. This doll's actually like decently made. Cindy Joy, who is a little clone of Dawn. Identified her since I filmed the first clip. Yeah, she did have a haircut, but it's not really that bad. I evened it out a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. And she fits Dawn clothes really well. And she was already in nice condition. She's actually a pretty good quality doll, not a cheap clone. Rockflowers Heather before. Her sunglasses are actually still tabbed down. Miss Rockflowers Heather after. She's cute. She's got a really adorable face, and she was already pretty nice. Pretty grubby because of the kind of body she has. We can see she's fresh. I'm sorry that like a lot of the dolls were naked before and you could see the filth better, but I assure you, I spent a long time scrubbing these dolls. Anyways, so she's wearing a Dawn reproduction, like a newer version of Dawn from 2005. This doll named Shannon. This outfit's not an old one, like based on an old one, but it fits her. She's really cute. Little Gary before. I don't know what I'm gonna have to fit him, but we'll figure something out. Yeah. Got some dirt on his heels. Yucky. We have Dawn's friend Gary after. He is really cute. I'm so excited to finally have like a boy Dawn-sized doll. So he didn't have any clothes in this lot, and I glanced on eBay, and as I suspected, anything Dawn is pretty expensive, and the boy clothes especially. Like, I am not paying $100 for a fashion pack for him, and a cheap one is like $25 for a shirt and a pair of pants, which on a tiny doll like this is silly, in my opinion. I mean, if you collect Dawn, then that's obviously like different if you're like super into her, but I kind of just collect the ones I find. So I made him these shorts. I filmed it off camera because I'm gonna level with you. I don't know what the heck I'm doing when I sew. But I picked this fabric up special for him at Walmart, and I made him some like sailorish looking pants. So he'd have something to wear. Usually when I make clothes, quote unquote, it's like a piece of lace that's a tutu or something really simple. But this was actually my first attempt. I did have to like tweak it a little, but they came out pretty decent. I mean, maybe in the future if my sewing skills get better, he can have something else. Tricky Mickey before. She's pretty loose. I've never restrung a doll like this before, but we'll see what I can do. It's her before. Tricky Mickey after. So this poor lady was totally loose before, but now you can see she's nice and tight. She can hold poses and all that. She can stand on her own. She had her original outfit in this lot. Her hair was already pretty nice. I was really excited because I've actually had Tricky Mickey clothes for years. I got some in the maybe 2017 at a thrift store with some Dawn stuff, and I never had an actual Tricky Mickey doll. I didn't even remember what they looked like. So I'm really glad I could save her, and also like because of how loose she was, I feel like a lot of people might have just thrown her away. So I'm happy that I could help her out, and I never strung a doll this tiny before, and I've only strung one other doll in a similar fashion once before, so I'm happy I was able to do it for her. Dawn before with her crazy haircut. And we have little Dawn after. So I was on the fence about keeping this doll. Her leg was like practically off by the time I went to start cleaning, but you can see it's like it's in one piece now. I can't bend it anymore, and you can see the little split where I had to glue it, but you know what? It's all in one piece now. She'll be okay. Her leg won't just come completely off. And I used a glue that dries like flexible. It's usually what you want to use on rubber. I mean, if you don't have anything else, I guess regular super glue will do the job, but it tends to like dry weird, especially if they get neck splits. You'll want to go for flexible glue. Anyways, so she did have a really bad haircut, and I did have to cut it a little bit shorter because it was so uneven, and it's flipping up a little bit more than it was before, but I used a piece of saran wrap to keep it as flat as possible, but it's kind of puffed up. But I'm happy I could give her a home because she really wasn't a good body donor. I didn't need a body, and her face paint's actually in pretty nice condition. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see pictures of these dolls, read more about them, etc., feel free to check out my Flickr account. You don't need a Flickr to view it. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.